Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. It's a beautiful day today. I'm trying to do this before the game, the big playoffs. So, yeah. Hello, hello. I know a lot of people may not chime in because, hi Jeffrey. Hi Jeffrey. A lot of people may not chime in because everybody's getting ready for the big game, but yeah, I definitely wanted to get to this. Because I think it's pretty important. And just it came to me yesterday, and I was like, you know what? This is something you don't hear too often. People bringing up the scars that happen after healing. So yeah, definitely I wanna talk about this. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, gods and goddesses. This is going to be something quick, and I actually offer and welcome people to chime in, and if they want to discuss their scar after they have did some healing work, we can do that as well. I don't mind adding people in if you want to discuss that, if you're open to discussing it publicly about your scar that you've obtained or realized that you have after healing, because there's definitely a scar that may take place. Not everybody is scarred, but some people get scarred after healing. And it could be any type of healing that you go through. And there's, as I said before, in the question, the video that I posed the question on, there's different forms of healing. It could be spiritual healing. It could be religious healing. It could be therapy, as far as like going to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist about your healing. And it could just be individualized healing, how you've actually been able to heal yourself through your own trauma or through your own pain. So that's something that I think at some point in our lives, we've all went through some kind of hurt, some kind of pain, something that set us back. And it's important that we discuss that. But the main thing is, when you've went through a healing process, when you've actually taken the steps to heal yourself, in any aspect, right? When you've actually taken the steps to heal yourself, you may realize that it may still come up. Whatever you went to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or alternative therapist, or even a religious person, a pastor, a minister, whoever, a counselor, when you actually take the steps and think you're totally healed, those things still come up in your psyche, in your thought process. And it may make you think, did I get over this? Am I truly healed from this? Or is this something that I still need to work on, right? And I'll say this, it's never going to not exist in your memory. It's never not going to exist in your psyche. This is something you're going to remember for the rest of your life, unless you bury it, right? Now, if you bury it deep down to where you don't want to have to bring it up or it doesn't come up, I would suggest making sure you do the work in order to not have to bury something so deep, because it's going to be triggers that will eventually bring that up. And it could be later on down in life, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be, it's going to come back up. And I'll use an example of, let's say somebody, and this, I will give a warning, this may be a trigger for some people, because everybody has went through different things. So let's say you've been raped or molested, right, in the past, and you went to a counselor, you did the work, and you really feel like you're over it, you're able to move on and live a happy life, right? So you think you're able to move on and live a happy life, but something comes up that triggers you, right? That is the scar. The scar is the trigger, and how you deal with that trigger is how you actually know whether you're truly healed or not. And how you actually deal with the trigger is forgiveness. You have to go and do the work and forgive on every level. It doesn't mean you have to go to that person that did the hurt, that did the abusing, that violated you. You have to forgive for yourself, not for them. So you don't have to verbally talk to them. You don't have to communicate with them at all. But in spirit, or writing it down, or talking it out with somebody, or crying it out by yourself, forgive. Forgive, 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 forgive. Because if you don't do the work in forgiving, it's going to come back up. Now, the scar that is left from that will actually be able to help someone else. And why I say that is because there's shadows, right? And there's different people that will mirror, that we come in contact, that will mirror what we've been through. And when you come in contact with somebody that out of the blue discusses something that you've actually been through, which could be a trigger for you, but if you've healed it, right, you're able to offer them condolences or counseling, or just a positive way of going about healing from it or dealing with it, right? So when you meet a person that mirrors that, and you experience, you realize that you have an experience or had an experience that they may be going through, offer them steps that work for you. Whether it may work for them or not, still give them the help that may work for them, because you know it worked for you, and you see a reflection in them that was in yourself, right? Offer them that, because your healing, your scar, offers them a testimony. And I use molestation or rape or being violated as an example, but it could be anything. It could be any setback that scarred you, that you had to deal with. It could be an accident, a car accident, right? Because even though that could be a physical injury that can result in a physical injury, there are emotional and mental scars that come from that as well. For example, some people get in car accidents and are scared to drive. Like, they are totally scared to drive, get behind the wheel, or even have somebody behind driving for them, right? They're totally scared of that. So if you go, once again, to a therapist or a counselor, and they are able to help you get over that fear or that anxiety, it is very, very important that you recognize the scar that you've obtained from that. And when I say scar, a scar is like the reminder, right? The reminder that you've went through something and you've overcame it. So take that into considerations. So if anybody has any questions or something they want to bring up in regards to this, just let me know. But yeah, it's very, very important to identify your scars when you've healed. Even relationship wise, like sometimes we'll get in these relationships and we'll get damaged, and we think there's nobody out there for us, or we went through this cheating or lying or whatever the case may be. You have to do the work in order to trust again, right? And when you trust again, you are left with a scar. Some people go into relationships and have been through something like that, and they have this beautiful, loving person that they can actually relate to and confide in, but then in the back of their head, they don't trust some aspect of them. That's a scar, right? So continue to do the work in order to heal that aspect of yourself, so you don't have that scar, right? Or if you're left with that scar, that imprint, in regards to what you've been through, talk to your partner. Talk to your significant other and let them know so that they understand when things come up that make them feel like you don't trust them. Say, hey, I've been through X, Y, and Z. I love you. I care for you. I see this potential in our relationship, but this past thing scarred me. And you never know. That person that you're with could possibly have had the same thing, the same experiences with past relationships. And you're able to help each other by identifying your scars. So I wanted to get on and touch bases with that because with everything going on right now, a lot of us are losing loved ones. A lot of us are going through financial hardships. It's scarring us, right? Because eventually we will get over it. We will heal. We will get new jobs. Whatever it may be, you're left with a scar or a bad taste in your mouth, right? But there's a saying. Through the struggle, you gather your strength. So whatever you're going through, you will gather your strength. You will be left with a scar, but that scar is a reminder that you maintained, you held on, you strive, you overcame, and you're able to press on. So just keep that in mind. If anybody has any questions or if you want to discuss whatever you may have went through and are comfortable with doing it on a live, we can do it on a live. If you want to discuss it behind the scenes, just inbox me. I'm always available. I'm always open to discussing whatever you may have went through. And I thank you all that has logged in. And just everybody have a blessed day or a blessed evening. And go Niners!